Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, and of course you notice it's football season now. It really works in just right. The fourth quarter is when the ball game really gets started, and the last 5 minutes don't go to sleep and or walk away from the television, because we really put in a lot of effort into that last quarter. And
Speaking of quarters,
let's talk about
Quarters
the quarters.
Casino. Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza, just north of Opelousas at exit 23. Go by to get your good Chevron fuels, your gasoline, your diesel. Well lit place with the big, huge canopy where you don't get wet when it's raining. Nice concrete to keep those shoes clean and dry. You can go inside, eat at the Mexican cantina inside, El Pico de Gallo. You can have crispy, crunchy fried chicken. You can have Subway sandwiches. Some good old-fashioned Stuckey's candies. All those old-time candies you grew up with as a kid would stop at those Stuckey's along the interstate. Got all that right there at the Quarters Casino. Don't forget about them for gaming as well. And one more sponsor. How about Targill? You're looking for seasoning. Targill is the place, and they can do all the mixing of different recipes that you may have. They can come up with a recipe that you may like. They can package it in what kind of container you want and use your artwork. Maybe you got photos because you want to do this for a family reunion. Maybe it's to promote your business. Maybe you're a guy that wants to become a millionaire in the seasoning business like Tony Sashry did. You know, maybe you want to start it out by starting with Targill. They let them do that processing for you. They can handle all that for you. They've also got butcher supplies, cutlery, kitchen
Slap
supplies.
your mama, perfect example.
That's right. You could start out.
That's where they get that seasoning mixture and packaged.
All right there. They can handle it for you from the smallest grocery store to a caterer to whatever business that you do. Targill. And that's all my sponsors now.
Well, good.
You got some obituaries for us?
Well, I do, and I've got a couple of things to back up and speak about. While we closed the third quarter with the restaurant in Orneville,
yes,
the Little Big Cup. And I did mention that I thought the owner was one of the owners. There's two owners. One, Kevin Roban. Kevin is the artist who put the big world map on the wall and did that beautifully, and all the other ideas throughout the facility. And then his partner is Sanjay, and how do you pronounce the last one?
Maharaj.
And what does it mean?
That means king.
King, okay.
Means king. If you're Indian and you speak that particular dialect, that particular language, it's king.
Okay, well, good.
The Maharaja is the big king.
All right, so that's the Little Big Cup. We hopefully people are listening and are going to give it a try. And then while we were speaking about a brick and spoon, a young lady, when I was up at the counter paying my bill to get out of there, she came up and said, "Aren't you Mr. Bobby?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "Well, I'm Brianna." And she says, "I graduated from the academy with your daughter Meg." I said, "Really?" I said, "What's your status? You still in college? Are you graduated?" She says, "I'm a fifth-year student." She's in psychology and another, she's two majors, and psychology is a 5-year program at UL. And so she would be a senior this year. And I told her, she said, "What about Meg?" I said, "Meg is starting college." And of course, Meg started Tulane Law School last week. And hopefully, you know, that's what 3 more years. It gives me a good reason to be around for 3 more, and then we'll have to try to get her to specialize some kind of way. So I'll have something more to live. Gotta have goals. Gotta have goals. Gotta have goals. And well, that about takes it. Brianna Black, and I'm sorry I didn't mention it when I first came up with Brick and Spoon, but hopefully you're still listening. And hello to all of you all out there. You all helped make the program by letting me take a picture and telling me a little bit about yourself.
This Friday night over the Delta Grand is I'll Fly Away, an evening of music with Joseph Amon III, alias Joko Amon's son. And that's a nice way to put it. Does some very good music, very talented. You know, went to Port Barry High. A lot of people know him from there. Has done a lot of music, worship, and faith retreats. You'll like the music. Go by this Friday night.
Okay,
And
and
you wanna-
I have a few deaths I'd like to mention. Last week, I asked that you please remember Mr. J.Y. Swallow from Ville Platte, the retired horse trainer, successful horse trainer for many, many years. J.Y. trained for me many years ago. One of my first trainers, I guess, that trained for me, got me into the thoroughbred racing. I had a quarter horse, was my first one, Bob's Whizzan, and he broke that little horse for me, and somehow or another it ended up in right out of Church Point with Mr. Savoy. And anyhow, Mr. J.Y. did pass away at age 89. He was a Second World War veteran and had been injured in action and received the Purple Heart and an honorable discharge. His burial is taking place today, almost right now. I think it's at 1 o'clock over in Ville Platte at the Catholic Church there. And the Sacred Heart Catholic, there's two Catholic churches there, Sacred Heart Catholic Church. And J.Y. was well known throughout the state, was such a good, quiet type guy that took care of business, and he lost his wife recently, a few months, a year, maybe a year ago. He's survived by only one child, and that's Glenda Ortigo. Her husband is James Cooney, better known as Cooney. Everybody in Ville Platte's got a nickname. Not everybody, but nearly everybody. Cooney Ortigo, and they live in Ville Platte. So Glenda, I remembered her very well when J.Y. was training my horse. And of course, his wife was Miss Elva Fusilier Swallow. And just a wonderful person, my deepest sympathies on his recent death. And of course, another one that that I knew from when we were kids growing up, grew up in the same neighborhood, and I'm speaking of Danny Provo, died. And of course, Danny would have been an uncle to Holly Provo LeBlanc, Matt LeBlanc's wife. That would be her uncle, Danny Provo. We all grew up together. And Mr. Frank Bellard had insurance with Dupree Carrier Gotchoff for years, and he was a life insurance salesman, well known throughout our area. And Raphael Young, very young person, born in 1955.
No kidding.
Yes, you reckon.
I hadn't heard.
Well, yeah, he lived and was raised right over there in Freelo Cove, right across from where I was born. He was only 58 years old. Yep. Real, that smile, that picture right there.
Always in a good mood.
That is.
And he was big enough man, you want to keep him in a good mood.
That's correct.
Hands.
And Henley Lestraps, another well-known person. Jude was his brother, or is his brother. Let's see. I'm not sure here, but anyhow, from the Highway 31 area, that's where where most of those Lestraps were raised. And one more, and this young man here, he was 81 years young, and his name was Charles McInnes. And of course, Totsy and Shirley and Bobby and Adelaide earned and won a trip with Safeco Insurance. By the way, I've some of my insurance is going back to Safeco after that big lapse in time. Dupree Carrier Gotcha is agents or are agents for Safeco again.
I wanted to go re-sign the Pink Panther to be their marketing.
Well, that was my theme of the Bobby Dupree show when I started the Bobby Dupree show.
Pink Panther theme.
The Pink Panther theme. I'd forgot. Boy, you come up with good ideas here. And Charlie and John Tyner were partners, and we won this trip together to Hawaii. And on the way back, a little occurrence occurred in the airport. I know Totsy and Shirley and Adelaide will remember that little incident. Nothing real bad, but it's just when you coming out, when you checking in or checking out, of an airport, you careful on don't mention anything about pistols, guns. Don't joke. Don't make a joke, because they didn't take this much as a joke, and it created a little havoc for us. We were nervous. Not that anybody got hurt or anything, but we were detained for a few minutes. So anyhow,
how about this one right here?
Yep,
that's an article that you want to talk about.
That was one I wanted to talk about, and our. Oh, yeah, we're getting down.
Well,
right.
You're getting down to the end.
The new Sport Shack Supplement Depot and Smoothie Cafe in Lafayette, Louisiana. And of course, we're talking about Benny Neely Jr., and a co-owner with him is Janai Mistro. And they operate this. Is he going to still be a part of the store?
Oh, it's back and forth between the two, correct.
Between the two. Oh, I figured that.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Janai probably comes in. She's hard worker.
You got to have somebody who can stay on that end.
She started as a young, maybe a teenager in her teens, started working for Ray's Diner, and then she was with Red Bull for a number of years.
Picked up with the soft drink distributors, and then the Red Bull was her big product.
Rode around in that brand new vehicle all the time. Hard-working little lady.
But some of those same things that you get at Benny's over here, those smoothies and all that nutritional supplements, is what they're specialized with right near the campus, right on, that's Johnson Street is what it's on. Beautiful building.
Well, you know, he went there, and this is fulfilling what he wanted to do, because he opened a place there when he got the franchise for all these products that because he's got that corner of the store just keeps growing and growing. In fact, Mama's little gift department getting smaller and smaller, Benny Jr., but I'm sure they're happy for him, because, you know, that's their blood. But anyhow, good luck to you all. We love y'all.
We did a pretty good job there. Now, don't forget, coming up in October, I'm just we're kind of ahead of time October, but don't forget the St. Hubert's Squirrel Cook-Off at Willie's Campground is the 14th annual. That's going to come up Saturday, October the 19th. The 2 middle weekends of October, that's the 12th and 13th, the 19th and 20th will be the St. Landry Catholic Church Cemetery Tours, showing history of all kind of old-time stuff at Saturday nights, Sunday afternoons. And the Opelousas Spice and Music Festival is coming up as well, October 4th and 5th over at South City Park, with country music icon Joe Diffie will be playing, so you'll have a good time.
Is Coke's 127-year-old recipe the same? And the title says not quite, but they won't admit to it. And they have made a tourism attraction with a huge vault. Look at this vault. You can walk into this vault. They won't let you see
where it's locked up.
But you see where it's locked up. And it's quite an attraction. Millions have gone through and looked at it. And of course, the actual carbonation and bottling of it began right there in Vicksburg, Mississippi, by a pharmacist, Mr. Beendorf.
You're going to need your prayer book.
My prayer book is right here waiting. And of course, we like to close the programs, we meaning myself and Andrew, like to close the program asking you to consider attending the church of your choice. And I try to add a thought, maybe you want to call it a prayer. The book here says prayer. My Father, help me to be detached from earthly goods so that I may better attain those of heaven. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening to the program. And thank you, Andrew, for assisting.
Thank you.
And tell a friend.